Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name's Fred Weaver. My partner Kevin Coffin's entering the picture.
Right here, buddy.
Group 4610, Arizona's funniest, premier, most controversial, and honest, truthful short sale team.
Yeah, we're all those things.
Got it. That's gonna be tough to put on the logo.
We should see about getting a new logo made. Go to logotournament.com.
So hey, thanks so much for joining us. ShortSalePowerHour.com. Today's topic. There's a report, Kevin. And this was actually, you were in the great state of Wisconsin attending a wedding in Green Bay, Wisconsin last week.
Yes, I was.
Not too far, a couple hours down the road from my friends at ASC Wells Fargo there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And this article got written by a gentleman by the name of John Pryor at HousingWire.com. John and I actually exchanged an email last Friday.
That's right.
John wrote an article about, well, I'll read the title. Servicers respond to Deutsche Bank report, seek faster short sales. So John wrote an article actually earlier in the week, last week, about a report that had come out from Deutsche Bank ranking these servicers on the speed of their short sales, okay? And I actually emailed John because I wanted to know where he got the report, see if he could send it over to me, and he said that he wasn't able to do that. So I don't know where he got his inside information.
I wonder if our buddy Martin Andelman, if you've got the report.
Yeah, Martin Andelman, if you're watching, man, I want to know. I want to know where this report is.
We'll be in California in 2 weeks, buddy. We're going to drive up and see you.
Are we?
Yeah.
Sweet. I like it.
I just decided that.
Let's go see Martin. Okay. Well, actually, we were in California earlier this week, Kevin, but we were in the Bay Area.
But we were in the northern
So we'll be in Southern California in a few weeks, Martin.
Yeah.
So, hey, anyway, I'm going to read this to you because you know nothing about this. So they're going to learn, you're going to learn, and then I would like your feedback on this. I'd like to see if you see what I see in here. GMAC pulled down the top spot of all major prime servicers by completing short sales on an average of 6 months from the day the loan became 60 days delinquent to sale, according to the Deutsche Bank report.
Hold on a second. They're judging this based on the day that it became 60 days delinquent?
Yeah, which to me is, I mean, I actually think you'll pretty much agree for the most part with the bank's names, but how they're reporting it to me seems backwards because if GMAC didn't even get a short sale app like sent to them, how could they possibly, I mean, there's some questions in here I don't understand, but anyway.
Whatever.
Okay. A gentleman at GMAC said they usually get them done in 90 days. Whatever.
I'd say 90
blah,
days
blah,
or
blah,
fewer.
blah, blah. Wells Fargo conducted short sales in an average of 8 months, the third fastest of the prime servicers, according to Deutsche Bank. While a spokesperson for the bank could not disclose short sale numbers either, Wells Fargo has grown its home prevention staff by more than 140% since the beginning of 2009.
Wow.
Interesting, as a stat I had not heard yet. The bank hired, Wells Fargo, 10,000 people for a total of 17,800 employees who are working to keep foreclosure numbers down and work on short sales, the spokesperson said. It's the first time we've heard those numbers. Printed, anyway. I mean...
That's gigantic.
Well, when Matt Vernon says they've got around 3 and they're adding another 3...
No, they were at 15 and they were going to 3.
Wow. Now, I don't know, like...
Of course, B of A.
I don't know whose portfolio is bigger. I don't know...
B of A is also using the Equator system, which helps them manage.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can compare those numbers, but I think that's huge.
That is a huge number.
So, anyway, Deutsche Bank, blah, 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 blah. Prime mortgages. For prime mortgage servicers, GMAC conducted short sales the fastest, averaging roughly 6 months per transaction.
Okay.
Also, 53% of their dispositions were short sales. It had a recovery score of 59.3, whatever that means.
I don't know what that means.
The next fastest servicer was Citigroup, servicing, which did a short sale in about 7.5 months, and 56% of dispositions were short sales for a recovery score of 54.4. So there's a bunch of numbers on here, Kevin, and what I wanted you to point out is that they mentioned GMAC, they mentioned Wells Fargo, they mentioned Citigroup, and I don't see it on this page. I must not have printed it, but Bank of America was also mentioned in here. They were a little bit more towards the bottom, but their numbers had gone up. But there was a bank's name who's pretty large, Kevin, that was missing from the report, and they didn't appear to be at the top.
Oh,
I was curious.
funny.
I was curious if you noticed.
You want to know why?
Who?
It's because they're at the bottom. They're at the bottom of the barrel because
Okay.
they're like a bunch of snakes. And that would be Chase Bank.
Okay.
That would be Chase Bank. That's obviously missing
Got
from
it.
there. I mean, we got Wells, B of A, Citi.
Yeah.
Those are by far the biggest. And you got GMAC, and they're nowhere near the top. And that's because Chase refuses, flat out refuses to have some sort of streamlined process What have we seen at Citi? What have we seen at Wells? What have we seen at B of A?
GMAC and B of A have gone to Equator. Wells Fargo's hired more people.
And Wells Fargo's
we've
always had a system,
liked
though.
Wells Fargo.
They've always
Since
had a
early
good system.
2008, we've liked Wells Fargo.
Citi has improved.
Citi has gotten a
greatly.
lot better. We got an approval from them in 9 days or something recently.
9 calendar days.
Yep.
So we've already known that. Like B of A is actually a top one for us. We like them because of all the improvement they have made. And Chase is the one bank that's continued to not make improvement. In fact, they've continued to go backwards and become harder to work with.
Well, and before we just talk all negative, because a lot of our experience have been very negative around Chase.
Especially with Chase.
I do want to say that I've had about 3 great conversations in the past week with Chase employees. On the bottom level, like, attitudes weren't present. They were pretty cool. So, you know what? I don't know if that's a reflection of the departments I was in, because I happen to be working in some of the HELOC departments that are out of Texas and some of that kind of stuff. But for sure, the Fannie and Freddie loans that are serviced out of Ohio for Chase are horrible. The loans that are serviced in Arizona, and even some that go into Texas and California.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all in their company culture. I'm telling you that. I was a former employee. I know. It's awful in that building.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring up this report to say if I can find some more information on it, we'll share it with you. But I think it's pretty interesting. GMAC is leading the pack when it came to those prime loans. Citi Mortgage was pretty close up there. It also mentioned Wells Fargo, who was at the top or very near the top. And honestly, those banks right there, I'd agree with that.
Those have been our favorite banks to work with.
I would absolutely agree with it. So I'd love to hear if you're having a different experience. Let us know about it. But I'm going to tell you that if you're investing any time into escalating files at Wells Fargo or Citi or GMAC, that the management at those 3 banks seems to be pretty darn accommodating.
They're pretty responsive too. Here's the other thing too, and I'm not mad at anybody, but I'm going to ask that if you throw out your 2 cents here about, hey, this bank is awful to work with and they take too much time, or this great bank's awesome, I'm going to ask you to include it. Well, how many deals have you done with them? Because a lot of people will come to us and say, well, this bank sucks and they're horrible, and it was over one transaction rather than a body of transactions. So, like, meaning we've done 30, 40, 50 deals with Citi in the last 2 years. So we've got a good understanding of Citi. So, you know, don't just say, hey, B of A is awful, because that seems to be the popular one to make fun of if you've only done 2 or 3 short sales with them. Because, yeah, it could be that they were awful on 1 or 2 of those short sales. But if you've got a bank that you've worked with and they're consistently bad, i.e. Chase, for an example, then let's talk about it. I want to hear what your experiences are. I understand that all agents have slightly different experiences at each bank. So please share those with everybody else, and let's see what we can come up with. Okay, guys? All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Short Sale Power Hour. You know the chant. 1, 2,
3. Short Sale Power Hour. Short Sale Power Hour.
Crush it. GMAC, number 1.